Hi Jaideep, how are you?
I'm fine, sir. How are you?
Yeah, I'm absolutely fine. Can you tell us something about yourself?
Sure, sir. So my name is Charit Singh. I live in Delhi with my parents, and I have done my BTech in Electronics and Communication from the Indraprastha University. Post that I prepared for the GATE examination, and I have cracked it thrice, but I failed to secure a job in a PSU. So therefore, then later after that I joined an edtech company known as Testbook.com, where I was working as a subject matter expert. So there, my role was to prepare questionnaires and mock tests for the upcoming government examinations related to the ECE field. And sir, after working there for around 1.5 years, I tried to switch to the IT industry. So recently, I have completed a course on automation using Selenium.
Okay, great. So you
Yes,
are a fresher, right?
yes, in this field, I am fresher.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. Just okay, no worries. Fine.
Okay.
So Jaideep, you were giving GATE examination, right? Now,
Yes, sir.
are you looking for a change in software testing?
Hmm. Sir, basically, when I was in working in the edtech company,
Hmm.
my work was very much tedious. The same type of work I was doing for 1.5 years, and the growth was very much limited because I talked to my seniors how they are performing in their future. So that's why I decided to move to the IT industry. And in IT, I found the testing profile to be most suitable, which I can learn first, then the development comes.
Mhm. Okay.
That's why, sir, I did a course on automation.
Hmm. Okay. And how would you rate yourself in core Java
Sir, around 3 to 3.5
out of
out of 5.
5? Okay, great.
Yes, sir.
So you have joined from laptop, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's say there is a string with your name, right? Now we have to count the number of letters in that string. So can you write a Java program on that particular thing?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I'm giving you
Uh,
screen sharing rights. You can use Notepad, IntelliJ, Eclipse, whichever you are comfortable with.
okay. Just I have to count the number of characters in it.
Yes, yes. So just share your screen and then you can write a Java program for that.
Okay. Share option. Sir, I have shared my screen. Huh?
Yes, yes, it is visible. Can you maximize this
Oh,
notepad
yeah. Okay.
and increase the font size a bit?
Font. Sir.
Hmm. Yeah, increase the font size. You can go to edit menu,
Okay.
font. Yeah. Yeah. Select size as 20.
Okay,
Okay.
sir. Hmm. So this will give the output of the length.
Right, right. Okay. Now let's say if I have to reverse this particular string, so how will you do it?
Okay.
Hmm.
String. Sir, for that I need to use a for loop
Hmm.
from a dot caret I dot length -1 to 0, and then I can should I code it?
Yes, yes. Please write the code.
Okay. Sir, is that okay?
Okay. Now, is there any other way to achieve this thing? Let's say you have used for loop over here, but is there any other manner that you can, or any other option or any other alternative that is possible for achieving this?
Mhm. Using sir while loop also, is it possible?
Yes, yes, using while loop. So can you write a program for while loop?
Yes. Sir. Should be. Mm, mm. Sir, I'm not able to recall the logic exactly. What variable should I use in it?
Okay.
In the condition bar.
Okay, so using this, you're not able to recall. That is fine. There is one more method with which you can reverse a particular string, right? So I'll tell you various methods are there. So one is using get bytes method, right? So you can use a temporary byte array of length and which is equal to the length of the input string, right? And then you can store the bytes which we get by using get bytes method, right, in reverse order, right? And then you can create a new string object using byte. Okay, so that you can do. Apart from that, there is also uh, uh, one particular reverse method is there, right? So
As so arrays dot sort wala method.
yeah, that is also possible. That also you can do.
Okay.
Then I'll show you one. Let me share my screen.
Sure.
Mhm. Yeah. So this is also a method in which you will be reversing a string using swapping, right? So first of all, you would be creating a temp array, right? And you will be creating you will be using same for loop. Again, you will be swapping the values from left and right, right? So this is the for loop, left equal to 0. If left is less than right and left plus plus, then accordingly you will be doing this variable assignment, right? And then second for loop we will be using for printing out the reverse string, right?
Okay.
So this is how you can also do. Okay,
Okay.
so this is
Sure,
fine.
sir.
Okay, now in your CV you have mentioned that you have explored and implemented design patterns in web application development, right? So which are the various design patterns that you have implemented in automation, Selenium automation?
Sir, design patterns, like sir, first I have learned about the various initially how to get to the website and how like driver.get method we used to get to the website, why we create the object of the home driver. So these were the initial steps, and later on when I moved to TestNG, so I made a framework for designing which worked as a design pattern for me. In that I was using uh, uh, using POM model, using the data-driven framework in which the test cases and test data are separated from each other. So there I segregated my package in various folders, and in one folder I was keeping all my test scripts, and in another I was using the configuration and properties file where I used to change the data. So in that terms I was using my design pattern.
Okay, what is POM?
Uh, Sorry, it stands for page object model. It is a design pattern using Selenium WebDriver for storing all the web elements, and it helps in code maintainability and code reducibility, because we can use the same set of codes for different set of data.
So which are the assertions that you have used in Selenium automation?
So first I use for comparing the strings, that is my output expected and the actual output equal or not. And second I was second I need to remember, one was related to the true and false also, that is the output coming as expected or not. Only then the particular commands will be lines will be executed.
Right. Okay. Now this question might be asked to you in a real-time interview, right? Which are the various assertions that you have used, or which are the various assertion type that you are aware about, right? So you need to be thorough with this thing. So you can tell about various assertions. So basically there are first of all, you can tell about the types of assertions, right? One is hard assertion, one is soft assertion. Why do we go for soft assertion? What are the pros and cons of soft assertion, right? Again, in hard assertion, which all assertions do we have, right? And why don't we go for hard assertions, right? So those all things you have to explain in an interview.
Okay, sir.
Now, are you aware about hard assertion and soft assertion? So you can give the answer right away.
Sir, no, sir, I've not read about hard and soft. I have heard about assert equals, assert.true, assert.false. These three types of only I have used.
Okay, so hard assertion is nothing but it's an assertion that will throw the assert exception when the test case is failed, right? So whenever a test case is getting failed, so it will throw the assertion. And in soft assertion, what happens is it will move to the next order of execution. If let's say if the assertion fails in the automated test and you are using the soft assertion, right? So it would move to the next line of execution.
Okay.
So this is, yeah, so this is a hard assertion, soft assertion. Okay. Now, you were telling something about assert equals, right? Which are the various types of assert equals? That method is there, right? Assert equals method is there, which takes minimum of 2 arguments and it compares actual results with the expected results, right?
Yes, sir.
So which are the various types of methods that are available in assert equals? What all parameters you can give in assert equals?
So parameters can be string also.
Yeah, string. Then which are the other data types that you can use?
Attribute values we can compare. And attribute get text is same as string, and a link text also possible. No.
Text, no, it's not possible.
No.
See, basically in assert equals, you can use the parameters with the data type of double value expected and in actual. Then long you can give, object you can give, float you can give, string string. I think you told string message also you can compare.
Basically, sir, I refer to the get text method for most of my scripts. So string basically have, and 1 or 2 times I have used the true and false, assert.true or assert.false statements. These three only I used during my course.
Okay. Now let's say if you have to automate something on a page, right? And it is located in the bottom of the page, right? So for that you will have to scroll via automation. So how will you achieve that? How will you do that?
Sir, for that we use a JavaScript executor. Sir, because it has methods which helps you to scroll to the various positions of the page, and in arguments we used to pass the pixels, how much amount of pixel we can use, and also we can use scroll into view, which will directly take us to the desired location.
Absolutely. Okay, now let's say if you have to automate a particular radio button, right? So how will you handle that radio button using automation?
Radio button.
Radio button.
Uh, I think, sir, for that we need to check the clickability of it. That is the button clickable or not? And first of thing should be is the button visible to me or not? And secondly, I have to check the clickability, and that I can check using the concept of dynamic loading. We can execute.
Right, right. So you will be doing that. Okay. Now let's say if the button is clickable, so you would be clicking on that button with respect to you'll be finding the relative locator, relative XPath or ID, and you would be
Yes, sir.
clicking on that button. Okay.
Hmm.
What is the significance of having properties file or configuration file?
Sir, properties file basically contains the data which remain same throughout the testing. Like the driver which we are using, mostly it remains same, and it also contains other configurations file. Configuration files basically contains the information which are dynamic in nature, like URL or locators. So all these files are put it into the configuration files. So, and properties file used to have data which remains static. Yes, sir.
Okay.
This.
Okay. So apart from this, you can also tell in a real-time interview, the basic purpose of configuration file is we have various environments of testing, like dev environment is there, staging test environment is there, UAT is there, right? So you can use that particular URL in a configuration file. And accordingly, the automation will pick up that URL and it will run the automation.
And for properties files, or how I can explain?
Yeah, so in properties file, you will be mentioning the parameters that you will be putting in the properties file, the config file, the username is there, password is there. So you are trying to avoid hard-coded things in the framework while using this kind of parameterization.
Okay.
Okay, so that is how you can tell. Okay. Can you tell me high-level test scenarios of e-commerce website?
Yes, sir. Sir, first we need to get to that web page using driver.get property, and next there will be a page will be popped up. It first you have to check that am I able to load that page or not? Is the page loading or not? And then there would be an option of login, like that has a username or password in it. Okay, so we need to check both those search boxes by the help of scripts. And after that, I need to log in. I need to check if my username and password matching or not. If it's a valid account.
Yeah, so you can tell me the high-level test scenarios from manual testing point of view.
Okay. So for that, first we need to check is the page clearly visible to us. See, like the company's name is visible, and also there are various options like about us and forget password is there. Username and sign in password column is search box is there. First, we need to see pictorially and is all the things correctly visible to us or not. And later on that we can test the various search boxes, and also there will be an option of new account. After clicking that, we need to check all the options that we will get that we need to fill to make a new account. That we have to check, like your name, your phone number, or password set. And after also, if you're setting a password, you need to check is your password contains any special characters and numbers or not. And also your username should be either your mobile number or a user or a email address only. So these can be the basics of test cases for the e-commerce website. And later on, if any additional features like mobile phones or or what we say televisions, all are segregated on the e-commerce side. We need to check each and every button of it. And also there is always a search box is there to search for the items that we want to buy. That also need to be inspected.
Right, right.
Then
Then you will have payment gateway options. Like you can pay
let,
from credit card, then you have add to cart options.
yes, yes, sir.
So those all things you have to cover in the scenarios. Okay,
Oh,
let's
okay.
say if you add some product to the cart, so your cart would be incremented by 1 accordingly. And if you add 5 items into the cart, so cart will be incremented by 5. So accordingly, you have to tell the test scenarios. Then you can cover functional test scenarios, you can cover non-functional test scenarios, you can cover positive test scenarios, you can cover negative test scenarios,
Okay.
right? So accordingly, you have to give.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, Jaideep, I'm done with the interview. Do you have any questions for
Okay.
me?
No, sir. I am right, sir. You have already solved my doubts, which I was not able to answer.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So all the best for your career.
Okay.
And
Thank you, sir.
once you get selected in any company, please do share
Mm,
success story with us.
mm.
Okay.
Sure, definitely, sir. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.